Dear students, here is the node's basic structure. A node will have two parts. One is the data part and the other is the next part or the address part. And normally a head pointer will be there that will points to the first node in the circular linked list. If the head contains null, then that means that the list is empty. And we can check whether the given list is empty by checking the condition if head equal to null. And another case is that a list may contain only one node. In that case, head will point to an address of a node, and in that node's next part it contains the address of the same node, so it has a link to itself. And we can check it either by checking the condition if head equal to head next, or we will assign a head to a temporary variable and then we will check if head equal to temp next. And this is a case where we have more than one node. So next we are moving to see how to delete a node at the end of the list. So here we have given a image where that list contains only one node. In that case, so this node itself we are going to delete it. This node is the first node as well as the end node. If we delete the end node, this node will get eliminated. So after deleting this node, we have to change this head as null. So this node becomes deleted, then there is nothing in the list. So head has to be changed to null. So when the node get deleted, head becomes null. And sometimes the list may contains more than one node. In that case, we delete from the end. So this list is given here, and now if we are going to delete this node, this is the end node in this list. So if we delete this node, we have to eliminate this link. So here after deleting this, there is no significance in this link also for this link. So the new link has to be made from this node to the beginning of the the other end of the list. So how we can make that change? So the address of this node is 50 and that is there in head, and that we have to place it here. So instead of 200, the address of this node is 200. So after deleting this node, this is invalid. So instead of 200, we have to place it 50. Okay. So after doing the deletion at the end, we will have the circular linked list like this. Let's see the algorithm for deleting from the end of the circular linked list. So in any of the deletion algorithm, first step we will check whether the list is empty. And we will check whether the list is empty by the condition if head equal to null, then we will display list is empty and deletion is not possible, and we will terminate the function. Else it is not empty, then we define two node pointers temp1 and temp2 and initialize temp1 with head. And thereafter we will check whether list has only one node. If we can check whether this is a one node by using the condition if temp1 next is equal to head, then we will set head is equal to null and delete the temp1, that is using the pseudocode free of temp1, and we will terminate from the function. And this will this will leave the linked list as empty list. And if this list is having more than one node, that is this case is this condition is false, then we will move on to the step 4, where we will set temp2 to temp1. Sorry, temp2 will assigned by the value of temp1, and we will move through the circular linked list until we will reach the end of the list. So repeat the same until temp1 reaches to the last node in the list, and we will use a while loop in order to reach to the end of the list. And the while loop condition is that temp1 next not equal to head. So each time this condition is true, we will assign temp with new temporary value. So presently temp value will be reassigned as temp1 is equal to temp1 next. And when this condition while loop becomes false, that is temp1 next is equal to head, we will move on to the next step, where we will set temp2 next equal to head, and we will delete temp1 and will terminate the function. Next we will see how to delete a specific node from the circular linked list. Here we have given an. So now let us see the deletion of a specific node. So here we need to delete the data 5. So in this example we do have only one node, and in that node we do have the same value that we want to delete is present there. So how we will check whether this node is the only one node in the list, and we have the condition to check whether this is the only one node is that if temp1 next equal to head and temp2 equal to null. So for this purpose we will declare two temporary variable of the type node, and then we will assign head to temp1 and temp2 to null, and then we will check this condition. Okay. Here is our next case. There are more than one node. So whatever it may be, whether this is one node or more than one node, we have to find whether our data that is we want to delete is present or not. For that already we have declared two temporary variable temp1 and temp2, and temp1 contains a value head and temp2 contains null. Okay. So how we will check whether our data element is present or not? For that we will use a while loop. The condition is that while temp1 data equal to key. If in key we have the element that is to be deleted. If that is matching with temp1's data, then that node is present which contains the element. So once if we find out that the node which is to be deleted is present in the circular linked list, then we have to check whether this is the only one node, or it is the first node, or it is the at the end of the node, or it is somewhere in between the linked list. So how we find out, or we already seen how to find whether it is the only one node. That condition is already checked. Right now we are going to check whether this node is the first node or not, and we check it using the condition if temp1 is equal to head. If this condition is true, then that node is the node which contains the key element is the first node. So in that case we have to make some changes, and if it is if the node which contains the data element to be deleted is at the end, then we have to make some change, another set of changes. and if it is somewhere in between, then another set of changes. So three set of changes are to be done on the basis of uh, the position of the node. For that purpose, we are finding whether this is at the first position, or it is at the end, or in between, or it is the first node, or it is the one and only node itself. Okay, so we can find if it is the first node by checking the condition if temp1 is equal to head. So here in this example, we want to delete the element 5, and that is at the first position itself. So after deleting that node, what are the this circular linked list will appear like this. Please look at the changes that has made after deleting this node. We can see that head value has got changed. Previously it was 50 and right now it has got to 100, and this node has been removed, and this node has becomes the uh, first node, or this node becomes the head node, and this node's next part was 50 before, and right now it has got to 100, and what is pointed by head. Okay, so these are the changes if we have find the element inside the element which we want to delete is there in the circular linked list, and we find out that this is at the first position of the circular linked list itself. Okay, so next is if the node is to be deleted at the end of the circular linked list. So how we can find if that element, if the key element is present in the circular linked list, and if it is, whether it is the end of the circular linked list. And we can check this by this condition if temp1 next is equal to head. If this condition is true, then that node is the end of the circular linked list. So after, in this example, this node is the end of the circular linked list, and this element is to be get deleted. So after deleting this node, the circular linked list will appear like this, and make sure what are the changes that we have performed here. Head, for the head there is no changes, but for this node, right now here it is pointing to the address 200, and this 200 node has got deleted, so there is no significance of 200 after deleting that. So it has to be changed to present first node. So what is to be pointed by head should be placed here. Okay, so if we find the key element is present in the circular linked list, and we find that that node is at the end of the circular linked list, then we have to make these sort of changes. If the above three conditions are false, then that means the node is somewhere in between the circular linked list. If we have to delete the element 10, so in this example 10 is between the nodes, that is 10, the node which contains 10 is not the single node, nor it is the first node, nor it is the end node, it is somewhere in between the list. So if that is the case, after deleting this node, the list will appear like this. So check the changes that we have made after deleting this node. So after this deleting this node, we have to eliminate this link and this link, and we will make a link from the node 50 to the node 200. In between node got deleted.